Good morning, brothers and sisters. Rejoice in the Lord, for he is good and his mercies are new every morning. Aren't you glad for that? I know I am. You know, every day might not be good per se, but there's something good in every day. And that's definitely something just awesome, is that his mercies are new and his grace is sufficient. Today I'm going to speak a little bit about immorality. This is not going to be a very popular subject or very liked, and I'm sure it will get me unfriended by some. But this is on my heart to do. We're going to be reading out of Proverbs 5, and it is going to be verses 1 through 12. My son, attend unto my wisdom, and bow thine ear to my understanding, that thou mayest regard discretion, and that thy lips may keep knowledge. For the lips of a strange woman drop as a honeycomb, and her mouth is smoother than oil. But her end is bitter as wormwood, sharp as a two-edged sword. Her feet go down to death, and her steps take hold on hell. Lest thou shouldest ponder the path of life, her ways are movable, that thou canst know them. Hear me now, therefore, O ye children, and depart not from the words of my mouth. Remove thy way far from her, and come not nigh the door of her house, lest thou give thine honor unto others, and thy years unto the cruel. Lest strangers be filled with thy wealth, and thy labors be in the house of a stranger. And thou mourn at the last when thy flesh and thy body are consumed, and say, how have I hated instruction, and my heart despised reproof, and have not obeyed the voice of my teachers, nor inclined my ear to them that instructed me. I was almost in all evil in the midst of the congregation and assembly. So what we're talking about is like a loss of wealth, health, STDs, regret. God gives us a warning of what is to come if we get involved in this sin. We're to flee fornication, abstain from all immorality. It's going to come packaged as the most beautiful and smooth talking thing you have experienced. And once that Jezebel spirit gets you hooked, verse 4 says, her end is bitter as wormwood, sharp as a two-edged sword. Have you ever experienced heartbreak? You have all these great things that are told to you, right? And get your hopes up and just makes you feel all good, right? In the beginning. But as time goes on and you really learn who that person is, they become hateful and vile and say things to you, manipulative, and they just make your heart hurt, right? Have you ever just had your heart hurt, like physically hurt? We have examples. We have David. David was a man after God's own heart. Yet he fell in the flesh when there was Bathsheba and he seen her bathing, and then there was that lust. And that lust overtook him and caused him to sin. Then we can look at Solomon. Solomon asked God for all this wisdom, and God gave him the wisdom and the riches, and he had everything, right? Everything that someone could imagine having. He had a kingdom, but lust was his weakness. And he followed after the gods of all his many wives. Number one, that was his first problem, having all them wives. But then we have Samson. Samson had all this strength, and there was just things that God had instructed him not to do. And one was to never cut his hair. Because of his lust for these women and Delilah, she was able to talk him into what his secret was of having his head shaved or his hair cut off, and losing that strength and that wisdom. And so those are just a couple of examples of how people have given over to their lust and the consequences of it. So I'm here to urge you, as someone that can speak for this, It's not like I'm just looking down on somebody saying, because I've never experienced things, but just remove yourself from any situation that seems like if you have a weakness in, well, let's just go with lust. If you have a weakness in lust and you know that you're prone to be very flirtatious with the opposite sex, then remove yourself from those situations. If you, let's see, what's another example? If you're in a workplace where, say, you're a female and there's males and you know that you're prone to, like I said, the flirtation and everything, and you get too close to people, then abstain from that, move away from it, or find a job where there's not that, temptation there. Stay away from pornography. Anything that causes you to sin and to fall. If you have people, say, on your Facebook page that you see posting nudie photos or pictures of other people that are nudie, then maybe it's time to unfriend them. It's not going to be easy. The journey's not easy. But in order for us to grow closer to God and to walk in wisdom and to have that discernment in that relationship, that pure relationship, you have to remove these things from your life. And that may mean getting a whole new set of friends or walking by yourself for a little while, But one thing is for sure, that God will never leave you or forsake you. So just my little message to you today, to just flee fornication. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope this message helped at least one person. God bless you.